Alright guys, what's up? Cameron Lowe here. So, you're gonna be real fucking fired up after this because I'm about to drop some fucking bombs. Okay, we're gonna go over how I close the sale. I'm gonna give you a few strategies that I use that I really like that work really well for closing deals over text, because you hear me talk a lot about how if you get them to understand that you understand where they're coming from, that you have their best interests in mind, and once you've established that friendly frame where you guys are friends instead of like you're a salesperson trying to sell them something, then the sale's easy at that point, because then you're just prescribing them and then they buy. But personally, I don't like giving my offer and just letting it sit there and leaving it open-ended for them to either back off or go in. And of course they usually go in, but I don't like to leave them the option to not go in and proceed with the sale. So these are the things that I do to make sure that they buy once I give them the offer. So I wanted to start off by saying that you hear me talk about how text closing is never a hard close. You're never pressuring people into buying, but there is an exception to that, because once you are in the frame of the friend where they feel like you're a trusted friend, just like a friend would push a friend to do something because they have their best interest in mind, because they want what's best for their friend, that's when the hard close comes in. Because if you hard close and they don't feel that you guys are friends, that you guys like each other, that you're vibing, then it's not going to work. Then you just look like a salesperson. So once you've established some sort of friendship with the person that you are selling to, you can do that in a really short amount of time if you do the things that I talk about and watch my videos and whatnot. So at that point, once you guys are friends, then you can hard close. Then you can push them into doing something. Otherwise, you just can't. Otherwise, it just won't work. So there are two things that you need to have before you use these tools that I'm going to share with you. The two things that you must have are every product that you sell must be discounted. The value of the product must be perceived as much higher value than what you are offering it to them for. That way you're always making them think that like they're getting hooked up, which in most cases they are. And the second thing you're gonna need are bonuses, things that you will be able to throw in on top as like a secret weapon, and I'll show you how to use those. I'll tell you how to use those, but goddamn, you guys are gonna be so fucking hyped on this. Okay, this is like seriously valuable stuff. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate this, if you want to talk about more like how-to type things. And so before we get into these different strategies, it's important that when you give the offer, because you will have to give the offer after you have established that you guys are friends, that you have the best interest in mind, that they know that, and so that you are prescribing their problem, which is the offer. When you give the offer, when you say how much this is or whatever, you never want to leave it open-ended, which means you never just tell them the offer and leave it to them to respond or not. You always want to close off your offer with like a question that forces them to either get back to you and say, yes, that sounds good, or no, that's not in my budget. So when I'm closing the sale, I will always say, okay, I think this will be the best fit for you. It's the most popular, and it is X amount on the site, but I'll give it to you today for X amount. Let me know if that works. If it doesn't, then we have other options as well. And so they'll usually get back because you said that, like, I think this is best for you, so they trust you because you're the friend, right? So they'll either say yes or like just plain out no, that's too expensive, which is okay. You want objections. You want them to tell you no. It's better than them just going cold, because if they go cold, you're just fucked, and then if you try to reach out to them again, then you just look low status, and it's just terrible. The sale never happens after that. If you have to keep following up with people, it's just fucked. So never leave it open-ended. Always provoke a response. Now that we have the offer pitch, we're going to go into a few of the strategies that I absolutely love, that I use every single day and close every single day. And you guys are going to be fucking hyped on this. You'll be able to use it for yourself, and I'm super excited for you because, god damn it, no one else is telling you this type of shit. So here we go. I'm going to look up an example. We're going to talk about bonuses first. Bonuses are super important, and again, it's not up to you to create the bonuses. That's up to your influencer or whoever is making the products that you're selling. It's not your job. So yeah, you're gonna have to tell the influencer that you're working with to like put in a few bonuses and like all this shit, but it's not that fucking big of a deal. Like, they're already selling online programs, they already know how it is. It might sound like some of these things are too advanced for you to deal with or know how to do. You don't have to know how how to do any of these things, trust me when I say this, these people know how to do this stuff. And plus, it's a lot easier than running a fucking social media ad and a Facebook ad and getting really good at that and e-commerce and Shopify, whatever the fuck dumb shit out there. And all these strategies that I'm sharing with you are to be used once they agree to the offer, just to get more urgency, because they will agree if you've done what I say in terms of getting them to understand that you have the best interest in mind. So we're going to talk about bonuses. Offering bonuses once they agree to the offer that you send them. Because again, like, you can send them the link and it's really easy for them to just not buy. Most of the time they do, but they could just totally not. So in order to like put some more incentive for them to buy, when they agree to the offer that you present them with the amount of money and everything like that, you just say, okay, cool, hit this link, let me know when you're in. If you decide today, then I will throw in this bonus for you for free. And then they'll get really fired up about that. The bonuses have to be good. It can't just be some dumb little fucking thing. We have like entire programs and courses that we give for bonuses, like mini ones and stuff like this. So it's gotta be good. The influencer know how to do all that stuff. But bonuses are really, really good for closing the sale, to create more incentive. For example, I just closed someone for 200 bucks. I said, cool, what's your budget? He's like, I'm not even sure what all the cost is, so I'm not sure about budget. I'm like, okay, well, I can start you off with a 6-month transformation. I think it'd be killer for you. It's $347 on the site, but I can give it to you for $200 here. Is that in range? So let him reply. Don't say just that's the offer. You let him say yes or no, it is in range. He says, sounds good to me. I'm like, right on, brother. Hit this link and let me know when you're in. If you decide today, then I'll throw in this bonus series for free. That son of a bitch is 200 bucks as well. But I'll give it to you for free today if you do today. And he's like, all done. Shoot me his age, height, and weight, and we plugged him into the system. So that's a good example of like a bonus close. The next strategy that I'm gonna let you in on is basically starting high and then going low. Especially if there's someone that you think doesn't have a lot of money, then you're gonna want to basically shock them at first, and you're gonna want to start with a really high price. So I always say like, yeah, I normally charge this amount. It's super fucking expensive. I know. And I say that word for word. I'm like, it's super fucking expensive, and they're thinking, yeah, like it is super fucking expensive. You're right. Like you understand, and that fucking works really well. I say, yeah, it's super fucking expensive. But what I did was, because a lot of people can't afford that, and I totally understand, I created another offer for you. It's this much, but today, if you do it today, I'll give it to you for this much, which is like half, right? So you're always like chopping the value, so you start really high, so that they think that the value is just completely just like way up there. They're getting a fuck ton for the money they're paying, and then you just keep dropping it. You drop it down to what you've done for other people, because most people can't afford it, and then you basically cut that in half and say, this is what I'll give it to you for today. And then usually they get really fucking fired up. So the price drop is huge. So the next strategy that you're gonna wanna use, and I've already said this, but just to be clear, is making every single product that you sell discounted so that the perceived value is higher, so that you're able to start high and go low. So just across the board, just have discounted shit. You know, if the products are on the site, make sure that they're more expensive on the site than what they are when you're selling them in the DM or text. That doesn't mean you have to charge less than what it's worth. In my case, what we do is we just like double the price on the site so that it just looks fucked, because I sell way more through the DM than the traffic that buys on the site. So we basically make it look super expensive on the site just for the reason that I am selling in the DM, and so that I can make it look more valuable when they are actually giving me the money. So across the board, discounts. So the last strategy is my number one favorite strategy. It is my go-to. It's one that I use nearly every single time, and it works like a charm. So this is the expired link strategy, and it's very simple. It's not much to it. You don't have to be smart to learn how to do it. You don't have to, there's no details or anything. It's just all you have to say when you're closing a sale. If they don't buy right away, if you send them the link and they don't say I'm in, once you ask them, let me know when you're in. If they don't say I'm in, if they say something like, okay, cool, or I'll check it out, this is what you say to them. You say, cool, FYI, it's a special link and it'll deactivate later today. And then like almost always they're like, oh shit, okay, cool, like I'll do it now. And very rarely they'll be like, oh, I get paid on fucking next week, or like whatever. that's some annoying ass shit when people say that. I fucking hate that shit. Because listen, guys, okay, this is huge too. Every time, I would say 99% of the time that people don't buy right away, they're never going to buy. Like, I don't care what they say, what their excuse is. If they don't have the money right now, they are likely not going to buy. And if they do, then they're gonna come back around like way later. But it's not gonna be anytime soon like they say it is. And I know that from experience, because I've talked to thousands of people, and some people do that, and it just never ends up turning out to be anything or a sale of any kind. So that's just something to think about too. You know, you have to close the sale. You have to, you know, see the money come in, because then it's real. Because just stay away. I'm telling you, like, I'm just from experience, I'm just telling you to just whatever you do not chase like hypothetical money. Don't let people off the hook. And of course, like, you have to be like friends with these people. You have to establish a friendship. You have to be cool to them, and you guys have to like each other. And then you can just pressure the shit out of them. I mean, that's what I do, and it always works. And they're just super grateful, because if we didn't like each other, if I was texting these people and if we didn't like each other, then all of these strategies that I'm sharing with you wouldn't fucking work, and I would look like just a greasy salesman. Okay, so this is just something to keep in mind. I really hope these strategies helped you. Again, if they did, then I know they fucking did. This is some gas. Are you serious? Like, no one else is fucking telling you this shit. God damn it, people are so goddamn appreciative. I just knocked over my camera. Some people are just so goddamn unappreciative. It's fucking annoying as hell. I fucking hate that shit. So anyways, my name is Cameron Lowe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know you did if you're planning on getting good at DM closing over text, becoming a fucking text mogul. So, you guys have an awesome rest of your day. I'm slamming this pre-workout right here. I gotta look at my schedule. I don't know what I'm hitting today, but I'm fired the fuck up, alright? I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace out.